impeachment, and the second one possibly through resignation, if at all he's not comfortable. That means this position is not probably what it had been envisioned to be. The framers of the Constitution wanted someone whose role is protected, unlike the vice president's role that existed before. But this time we're seeing two could possibly exit within one electoral cycle. What does that say about the expectation we had for this role, without even considering the people who are there currently?
You know, this is a political position. And it's interesting how people are picked as deputy presidents, because if you look at the scenario of 2022, when we were all waiting, I was among the people who were interviewed for the deputy presidency position of Raila Amolo Odinga. And we were 10 of us. Mm-hmm. And finally, it was the last minute, I think the Monday, which was the last day that Raila picked Honorable Martha Karua. It was an interesting session when all of us were in a room. Some decided to run away before even the announcement was done. And Baba had to sit with all of us and also sit with me personally and explain the situation and how he came up to pick Martha Karua. And at the end of the day, I realized, because I was there in it, and it is not really a personal decision. Other people also involved, because Baba looked very desperate and he said, you know, it has been decided. And you know, at some point I asked him, so are you the one running for president or the other people advising you? So this position is a political position. And as Honorable Rute has said, a deputy is a deputy. But we saw a very interesting scenario of 2013, where William Ruto had the URP party, and then Uhuru Kenyatta had his, then it was PNU, then went to TNA party. And they came in not really as a deputy president, but as a co-presidency. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the Yangu Kumi came in, because he came with the basket from Rift Valley. And then Uhuru Kenyatta enjoyed the support from Mount Kenya. I hear now people want to divide that there's Mount Kenya East and West. We are all in Mount Kenya and we are all one. It's the same scenario when it comes to politics, and our people say there is Murang'a North and Murang'a South, but when they are voting, they again forget Murang'a North and South. So we are all in Mount Kenya. And so it would be unfair for anyone to say that Mount Kenya West have taken advantage of Mount Kenya East people, or East have taken advantage of West. To me, I don't even, I don't place myself whether I'm in East or West.
And we'll come to that conversation, because
exactly.
we end up for our conversation today.
My take would be, it is a political position. And what any presidential candidate will look at are the numbers and advantage of having such a person. My experience with
so the professor is right when he says that a presidential candidate can simply use running mate for the votes and then get rid of them immediately after the election.
I don't think so. It's not as easy, because we only saw the scenario of one person, and that's what I'm saying. Kenya cannot, because I've had house on fire, all these things that we are being told. Kenya is not burning. Kenya is not burning because of one individual. We have only seen a scenario of one deputy president who have been removed. And I think we will need analysts to even analyze that persona of that person who was removed and the situation around why the person was removed. There are many stories that we might not even go through them today. Yes. And there are many also other stories that are also said elsewhere. But what I want to say is that the deputy president position is actually a deputy, an assistant. I had a little bit of experience with the former deputy president who was impeached, and now the experience with Kithure Kindiki. Kithure Kindiki actually comes in as a very good assistant. When the president is giving or meeting delegates, Kithure Kindiki comes in to explain the projects that the government has done. He comes in very handy.
Okay.
He's actually, at one point, amazed all of us when he was able to outline everything that the government has done without referring anywhere. Okay. You know, and I think he's the best deputy. I would love to. But when a deputy president becomes now a competitor or a co-president, then that's where we lose it. And that's why we saw at the position when William Ruto was a deputy, and then there was Uhuru Kenyatta, there was some disagreements here and there, because William Ruto felt like we had a deal.
Yes.
Now unaniruka sasa, you have exactly, now sasa you have gone for the handshake. So the scenarios are very different.
This is the same headache that even the United Alternative Government is facing, because yes, in the arithmetic, there's a position of the number two. Looking at what has happened to Rigathi Gachagua, what is currently happening to Professor Kithure Kindiki, how many would be comfortable to go for that number 2 position? Isn't it correct that it is indeed a poison chalice, that your position as deputy is not guaranteed? Once you win elections, you could be gotten rid of at any point.
No, I think, let's face it, let's start under Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They had serious disagreements with William Ruto.